Hi there, it is me, the Holistic Healer, here with you again today to talk to you a little bit about revealing your soul's highest potential. Now, there's a lot of talk of this around the internet these days, and there's a lot of different opinions, a lot of different views on this. In the last couple days, I have been receiving some pretty strong messages from my guides and angels, and they've asked me to share with you what's been revealed to me. And as you know, if you've been with me for a while, I always follow the guidance that's given to me. So I decided to do a little video this afternoon, and hopefully this will resonate with many of you, and those that are meant to hear this message will hear it. So when it comes to revealing your soul's highest potential, what is this? Well, according to my guides and angels and the messages that I'm receiving, this means that this is the place in the space where you truly connect to the most to your soul. Connecting to your soul's original journey, original blueprint. This is like connecting to your original reason why you're here. As we all know, your soul is a lot older than you, right? And your soul has been on this journey for a really very long time. In some cases, like thousands of years. So as a soul's purpose is in life, I guess, when you come into the human body, the soul's purpose is to serve others. The purpose of our journey as humans is to realize who and what we are, learn the lessons we came to Earth to learn, and then identify the blocks that are keeping us stuck on the karma wheel, which we will talk about in another podcast. The karma wheel kind of is that loop that you keep on looping on. It's a wheel. And the more you do not learn your lessons, the more you do not move forward, the more you stay stuck and keep repeating the same cycles over and over and over until you finally understand it and get it, and then you can transcend from it. So that's the short version of it. Like I said, I will do some teaching about that in the next couple of weeks, as I am drawn to do. But really, truly, as humans, we come to Earth to learn and identify these lessons, and further awaken and align with our original creator, our original love and light blueprint as quickly as possible. That is what we are here to try to do, that as quickly as possible. Okay. Part of it is to remove suffering as quickly as possible too. Because it is the suffering and the negative beliefs that, and blocks that we have, that we hold on to, that keep us in that feeling of being separated from our source, right? But as we know it, when we get a little further along on our spiritual journeys, this is very much an illusion. That separation, that's an illusion, trust me. But according to Wayne Dyer, who is one of my most favorite men in the entire world, fear means false evidence appearing real. I really like that definition because, yes, fear is not necessary, but it's one of the things that we need to learn in our journeys as humans. One of the best ways to realign your energy, your soul, on a more permanent level in the bigger picture is to learn that fear has absolutely no power. No power. Only love holds power. And when we can change our minds then we change our perceptions, right? When our perceptions change in life, then our beliefs change, right? When we can transcend from negative beliefs, negative patterns, it also transcends us from our negative karma, and we get off that wheel because we let go of that stuff we're holding on to that is not necessary to hold on to. But that's part of the lesson, you guys, right? So the faster we can figure this out, then the faster you become free, right? So in this lifetime on earth right now, more than ever before, there are many more souls here for the purpose of assisting with the awakening and the evolution that's happening on such a mass scale. Me personally, I know I'm awakened to this, and I know that it's part of my purpose is to help awaken others to this, okay? But first, we must awaken to our highest soul potential, and we must remove these blockages that inhibit us, you guys. And believe you me, they inhibit us, okay? So when we can do this and live this as kind of a lifestyle, where we completely trust in God and we just let go of what we can't control, of what we don't know the answers to. You just surrender to it and just truly let love guide you. Stay connected to love as often as possible. I know it's not possible to be in love and in bliss 100% of the time. If it was, we wouldn't be here on earth and we would not be humans. Even light workers, we work very hard to stay in balance, okay? So what is the first thing that we can do when we want to let go and release the things that are holding us away from our highest potential? Forgive. That's the first step. So if you can forgive everyone and everything on a deep soul level with the understanding that anything that has ever happened to you in your life was for a reason, for a purpose, for higher learning, if you can really come to that understanding and really know and understand that when we decide to come to earth, it's truly for the evolution of our own soul's journey. It really is. When you understand this, it helps you to forgive. It helps you to let go because you have that higher understanding. So I don't know how many of you know this, but did you know that Earth is literally the hardest planet to come to in the whole galaxy? When a soul decides or signs up to come to Earth, it is because that soul wants to make a huge stride in its ascension. Believe me when I tell you that you signed up for this. As soon as you realize who and what you are and why you are here, you will be able to move into your life's path and purpose without reservation. Believe me, I haven't always been where I'm at. I've taken many steps towards my soul's ascension journey, and I have done a lot of my soul work in the last 7 years. Soul work is removing the layers of unempowering beliefs and blocks, okay? It's really getting to the root of things and really learning about yourself and about your situations, and taking a higher path, okay? So it becomes a lifestyle where every day you're working to make yourself a better version than you were yesterday. And it really becomes like this journey, which many of you can understand because you're on this journey too. Okay? So getting back to aligning with your soul's highest potential. So what is your soul? And what is your soul potential? Well, your soul, when you're not on earth, when you're not in this human body, is what I've seen personally, it's like a golden light being. We're all golden light beings. We're all sparks of golden light. And many people have seen this firsthand when they go outside of their human bodies. I have. I personally have experienced this before, and where I've gone into what seems to be like a different dimension maybe. so to speak. And I can see myself, and I'm literally energy, like this golden light energy. So most of us light workers who came here for the purpose of transforming Earth have truly had hard lives in this lifetime. Maybe an abusive upbringing, or just experienced and overcame things that most would have not been able to handle. I'm sure that you are probably shaking your head yes right now, because most of you listening to this probably have experienced this. I myself have too. But although we have had these hard times and these hard circumstances, life doesn't need to be that way. Life is not meant to be that way. We came here to overcome that. We came to overcome this and learn to live harmonious no matter what we've been through, no matter what life throws at us. Part of the reason that we have experienced this in this lifetime is because we came here to change humanity. And in order to do that, in order to create positive change, we have to experience when it, what is perceived as dark or negative. Literally, like we have to experience that. We have to rise above that and transcend that so that we can teach others to do the same. This planet is going through such a tumultuous and rather large change right now in the shifts in consciousness. And guess what? We signed up to do this work, friends. We definitely did. So on the planet right now, for the very first time ever, there's extreme darkness and extreme light. And this kind of scenario, there is the most potential for our souls to rise up higher and higher on a much larger scale. Then, if it was like your basic ordinary lifetime, which we've all lived. So say it's like this basic lifetime where life is simple and easy, and you get up every day and you work in the garden and you're out in the fields, and then you harvest your food, and then you make supper, you go to bed and you get up the next day and you do it again and again and again and again. You never really have a whole lot of challenges. You never have really a whole lot of things sway one way or the other. It's just kind of that cycle, that loop that you live in. That's wonderful. And, there are people that would love a life like that. However, that's not a lifetime where you're going to do a whole lot of soul growing, right? You're not going to grow much on a soul level in that type of a lifetime. But the lifetimes like the one we are all in now, where we are all awakening, either little by little or all at once for some of us, that is where the most growth is going to be. So there's so many of us doing this huge growth in this lifetime. And true light workers have been getting our asses kicked most of our lives, right? Some of unpleasant parents, some of unpleasant emotions that push us down. And, we can become very disillusioned with society as a whole. But seriously, think about it, guys. Have you learned a lot from your hard times? I know I have. I'm actually really thankful and grateful that I've been through those hard times. It is what made me the person that I am today. It is what has brought me to this place and space right here, right? And some can easily escape these trials and hard times and completely trust in life and in the universe and know that it is truly for our highest evolution. I am one of those. But others become heavy with burden and blame and guilt and shame and have a very hard time remembering who and what they are. So they stay in the darkness and they build up walls around themselves, and they let these limited beliefs stop them from ascending, okay? That is a place where I was before I woke up and realized and understood who and what I am and why I'm here. There are some also that are somewhere kind of in the middle, but these are all aspects of our soul journey. In order to move to your highest soul potential, first and foremost, my guides have said the very first thing we must do is remember who we are and why we're here. Most of us have already taken that step. So that's the first step. That's the biggest step, truly. So for number 2, and a lot of us are in the stage 2 right now, and stage 2 is where you go through the process of removing these soul level blockages, right? What are soul level blockages, you're saying? Well, negative attitudes, negative mindsets, negative beliefs, ego, edging God out. We all have these, right? We all do. Even I do. I don't care how light the light worker is. We all have these. Then they're there for a reason, to teach us. So the key is trying to remove as much of it as possible on a permanent level, because the more we can remove them, then the attachments that come along with them leave too. Now, what are attachments? You're saying, okay, what are these attachments that come along with these soul level blockages? Well, the biggest one is addictions, like the things that we think we have to have that inhibit us from connecting to our soul. That's what the attachments are. And those come attached to these beliefs, to these understandings that we have in our subconscious mind. For example, excuse me. For example, let's say that I grew up in a home being told that my left arm didn't work, okay? And so as an adult, I only do things in life that don't require using my left arm because I believe that my arm doesn't work, right? So do you think that's going to limit me in life? Do you think that's going to limit the things that I'm going to do? Do you think that's going to take me to my highest potential? Absolutely not. And that's a terrible limited belief, right? So many of us have these beliefs that have been instilled in us since we were little children, where we think we can't, or we think we're not enough, or we think we shouldn't, or we're scared, fear. And that creates us to form attachments to fill in for those beliefs, like addictions, like there are also heart-based blockages, like fear and mistrust, hatred, anger, blame, that victim mentality that we've all had at one time or another because of the things that others have done to us, right? But we must work through these and layer by layer decide to let them go, you guys. Yes, they happen to us. Yes, they hurt us very deeply. But if it is not currently happening anymore, why are you still suffering? That's a good question, isn't it? Why are you still suffering? It is hindering your connection to your highest potential, dear one. Does that make sense? So instead, we should learn from it. We should grow from it. We should replace it with love for yourself and all of humanity, no matter what has happened. I apologize. I was outside today and my nose is itching. I must have a little bit of an allergy to something, so I apologize for that. But when you learn from it and you grow from it and you replace it with love instead of hate, right? For yourself. When we start to learn to love ourselves, truly love and approve of ourselves, right? Remembering that all of it was just a soul lesson that you chose to learn from in this lifetime. If you can really keep that in mind, it's a lot easier to let the stuff go and go, oh, I learned from that. Okay, I don't need that anymore. It really lightens your load, like on a permanent basis, right? You chose to learn these lessons when you came here, and you chose to learn some very hard lessons in this lifetime. But one of the biggest heart-based blockages that we all carry from time to time, according to my guides, is greed, the energy of greed, okay? Now, there is not anyone on this planet that is completely selfless. There's simply not. You wouldn't be a human if you were, okay? And I don't care what any healer or guru tells you. If this was the case, you would not be human, okay? Because it's one of the biggest lessons we come here to learn. So one of the things we try to overcome and be mindful of in this experience then is to be as selfless as humanly possible, right? There is far too much selfishness and greed as a whole in humanity, and each one of us must do our part to release this selfishness on all levels of our beings, okay? It is a huge heart blockage to the heart chakra or your heart center. Greed and selfishness is that energy will block your heart chakra. Remember that, okay? This is one of the things that we came here to learn. Service unto others. Not to think about what do I want, but to think about what does everyone want, right? For that to become a habit. Service unto others. That's why we came. And the heart center is, our heart chakra is where we receive most of our messages from Source, from God, from Creator, from Universe, whatever you're comfortable calling it, right? From your heavenly helpers, your guides, your angels, saints, as well as messages from your own soul, from your own unique energy. That's where you hear and feel those messages, is with your heart, especially you that are empathic, right? So, how can we hear our own soul? Well, how can we align with our highest soul potential if we cannot even hear our own messages because we have too much corruption, too much ego, too many attachments, too much selfishness, jealousy, greed, and even some of us have a strong desire for fame, which will all separate us from our true life's purpose. Our true life's purpose is not to be in the spotlight and be known for what we do. Our true life's purpose is to do the things that we do, the service unto others, and be humble about it. If you get seen for what you do, then that's a blessing. But not to do that as on purpose, right? To look for that, to seek that out, to seek attention. Because somebody who's truly enlightened and truly into their highest potential isn't worried about that. If that happens, wonderful, but that's not what it's about to them, okay? What is our true life's purpose? I mean, honestly, our true life's purpose is to be love and creation. So everything that is not in alignment with love and creation and that oneness of our original source, that is obviously taking away from our soul's purpose, right? I mean, it has to. So there are other blockages as well. So we have the soul level blockages, we have the heart blockages. There are other blockages too. Soul, heart, mind, and body blockages. So like, what are body blockages? Those are the simplest ones to recognize that we have. Like, body blockages are like sore neck, sore back, sore spine, sore legs, constant migraines. These labeled dis-eases that no one seems to know the source of them are not in any way, shape, or form accidental, guys. They are a blessing, truly, because that is your subconscious self saying, hey, something's not right here. I'm hanging on to something that doesn't belong, right? This doesn't resonate. Because, they are life, right? These blockages, these attachments, these beliefs that we have that are not serving us, they are our life lessons. And the purpose of life is to learn from them, right? And to awaken us to the intuition that we are here to serve others, clear our spiritual debts, find a more positive, loving, and empowering way to live, more positivity, and find our purpose a whole lot faster, right? So a lot of us make the mistake when we awaken. We make the mistake of focusing on ourselves and when we should be focusing on how to serve others, okay? This is a huge lesson for us, and this is a huge point that my guides have been making this past week is like, in doing so, you can clear a good amount of your energetic blockages. How does it feel inside to you when you help somebody else that's struggling? Does that make your heart sing? Does that open your heart? Does that expand you? It does. And it clears those blockages that are on that level of vibration. Okay. So the very first step here, I know I'm kind of rambling on. I'm trying to fit a lot of information into a shorter video. So the very first step in finding and identifying our highest soul potential is to recognize the existence as a soul, not a personality, right? Now that may seem very simple to you, right? To recognize and find my existence as a soul, not a personality. Yeah, that seems very simple, right? And you're thinking, yeah, sure, I can do that. That's easy. But if you look at your life, it does not always represent the truth that you are a soul having a physical experience, does it? Mm-mm. But your soul can save you so much suffering. It can save you from everything, you guys. Being truly connected to your soul can bring you so many blessings in such huge abundance, like more than you could ever understand. It can save you from pain. Your soul can bring you a soulmate. Your soul can do all of this. The problem is that as humans, we forget that. We forget our power and how powerful we are as a soul. So why isn't it, you ask? If my soul can do all of this for me, why isn't it? Why am I living this hard life? Why are things not going my way? Because you are not in alignment with your soul or your highest soul potential. You are living the life of an ego-based person, edging God out, which means edging your soul out. And I don't mean that in a negative manner, you guys. I certainly do not. I certainly do not mean to put anybody down. I'm just trying to really speak very truthfully to you. And it certainly may not apply to everybody. Not everybody's living an ego-based life. I apply it to myself, though, because I know that without that awareness, I cannot move forward on my own soul's journey. So I offer you that as just a baseline to work with, okay? The first point is for you to recognize that you are a soul having a human experience. And as such, as a soul having a human experience, you must recognize those places and spaces where you are inhibiting your soul from connecting with you. Okay? That means being very brutally honest with yourself. So, let me ask you this. How many of you actually take the time to meditate every single day? How many of you make it a daily practice to not only connect to God, but to connect to the many light beings that are around you that are helping you with this journey? How many of you connect to your guides and angels daily? Jesus, Mother Mary, Buddha, Krishna, Kuan Yin, Mother Earth, Yogananda, whoever or whatever light beings you resonate with that are at your vibration. How often are you tuning in? Because they're there to help you align with your highest soul potential, you guys. That's why they're there. How many of you, regardless of what's going on in your life, actually take the time to offer gratitude to these light beings for their presence in your life, whether you see them or not? How many of you actually do this? Because honestly, this will give you a great idea of how close you are to aligning with your soul's highest potential. Because part of your alignment with all there is and your highest soul potential is recognizing that you're not alone. We are, in fact, all connected. You are part of something so much bigger than yourself. And when you recognize that these high vibrational soul beings can be in a million places at once, it's called being omnipresent. When you recognize that, you will start to really feel the essence of your soul on a day-to-day basis, and it becomes a lifestyle, like I said. Do you know even we as humans can do this too? We can be omnipresent. I mean, we are here on earth having this experience, right? But your soul can be in many other places at once. How simple is it to just plan that every single day you will connect with all of the light beings around you, including your own self? I promise you, if you take the time to do it, it will change your life. Substantially change your life in a positive and empowering way. Why? Because your life becomes what you are connecting with, my dear. If you are connected to more of the ego, negative, humanly mindsets of, negative mindsets and negative places and negative people, and that's what you're focusing on the most, that is what you will become. That is what your life becomes. I know we've all been there, and it's very easy to get sucked into that. It's not so easy to pull yourself out of that and stay out of that more often than that. It's not easy to do, but worth it. I promise you, it's worth it. So, because when we stay connected, when we do not meditate, when we do not clear our energy, when we do not connect to our higher self and our higher sources of light, it creates blockages, these energetic blockages, guys. It closes your heart chakra, right? It creates barriers to connecting to your own soul, your own soul's highest potential. So when you are connected to like the empowering, uplifting, high vibrations, it clears your blocks instantly. You raise your vibration, and then you literally feel bliss every single day, even if it's just for a little bit every single day. You're still raising your vibration on a more permanent level, and it can make you want to spread that out to others, thus raising the vibration on the planet, right? So when you choose to stay connected to your highest and best, most loving possible guides and angels, your heavenly team, then you are choosing to stay connected to your soul too. Your soul is connected to these deities, these light beings that you are connecting with. That's why they're there, you guys, right? Your soul is always communicating with you 100% of the time. Always. So is God. So is your favorite light beings. They are constantly present, you guys. We need to wake up so that we can feel them. And if you think about them, it is because they are there with you. So in the morning when I get up and I think Jesus, and then bam, he's right there. I can feel it. If you think or say Kuan Yin, do it, try it. Feel it. She'll come in. Feel it. Boom, she's there. Feel it. They are constantly present, you guys, because in the soul world, there is no limitation of time and space. And they all recognize the nature of the soul, which is to serve, right? It is just down here on earth where we are stuck in the dense muck vibrations of duality that we lose that reality. We signed up to lose that reality to try to find our way back to it. We forget who and what we are when we're born. But the minute you cross over, you are back into that awareness. And guess what? When you meditate and when you sleep, you're crossing over, guys. Right? So the key of awakening to our highest soul potential is to bring that higher awareness that we know, that we feel when we are connected to our soul in those higher dimensional energies, those heavenly energies in our present reality now. And to keep a balance of heaven and earth in our current reality most of the time, or as much as possible, right? Because it doesn't make sense to walk around always connected to up here, always connected to God, always connected to your soul, always connected. I mean, you're going to be up here, up here, up here, and it feels amazing to be up here, up here, up here. But you came here to be a human. So we still have to come down and be human sometimes, but it's finding that balance, because when we're being too human, then we're too far disconnected from this, right? Then we're not thinking about serving others. So we need to find that balance, that perfect balance, right? And a good way to start is by clearing those energetic blockages that you have, especially in your heart center, that you can hear clearly that which is always coming to you, okay? That's the thing is, my guides kind of explained it to me like this. Think of an old radio station. When you are trying to tune in, right? You're tuning the knob, and you can kind of hear the voice. You can kind of hear the radio station coming in, but it's not really all the way, and you're flip it a little bit this way and a little bit this way, and you get those crazy noises. And no matter how much you try to block out that squealing, that squealing that you get when you're trying to tune it in, and then you turn it just a little bit more and you hear voices, but you can't quite make it out yet, right? Or quite understand them yet. And then, no matter how much you turn that dial, you just can't quite get the station to come in, right? It just keeps fading out. And that static, that represents most of humanity right now, you guys. That signal by those voices, in this case, the soul world, is actually now reaching many souls that have better reception because they work on tuning their vibrations daily. I'm one of them. You have to work on it. You have to practice it. Everyone says, Becky Joe, how come you can hear? How come you can see? How come you get those beautiful messages? You know why? Because I practice. Because I work on it. I tune my vibration to it daily and have been for years, right? But most have poor reception because as humans, we have blocked our energy centers, because we have blocked our heart chakras, because we have too much ego, remembering that means edging God out. Too many negativities holding the vibrations down, you guys. Not enough selflessness. Recognizing this and cleaning up your vibration, tuning into a clear signal of your own soul and your own heavenly helpers is how we awaken to our highest soul potential. Because you're connected to your team. That's the thing, is when you get out of the when you get out of the selfish, when you're selfish, you think you can do it all by yourself. You don't need help. You got this. But when you get out of that and you get into the tune of selflessness, you realize you're a team, and your guides and angels are a team with you, and you are expressing the divine through you, right? That's how we awaken to our highest soul potential, you guys. So once we recognize this, the next step to work on is forgiveness. I know it's not easy to do, but I encourage you to always open your heart. Always let forgiveness, compassion, understanding, and empathy be the leading forces in your life. Always. Every single thing you are holding on to in your heart that hurts you is causing that static in your vibrational alignment with your highest soul potential. It truly is. So please, I beg you, for your highest and best soul's path and purpose for the best path of you and all of humanity, I urge you, please let it go. Let it go. It will make your life a whole lot easier. It will make your connection to all there is happen a lot faster. It will make manifesting the life of your dreams happen quickly, without reservation. I promise you. It will clear your karma and get you out of that karmic loop that you've been stuck on in that wheel where it's the same situations over and over and over, just different people playing out different parts, and it keeps happening over and over. It's because you haven't let it go. It's because you haven't learned. You're stuck. Learn from your mistakes, guys. Learn from them. Go deeper within and listen to yourself indefinitely. When you are trying to speak, when your soul is communicating with you and telling you what's best for you, actually start to hear it and follow it. When you do that, I promise you, it will align you with your highest soul potential indefinitely. I promise you. You will open that heart center and start receiving messages without fail from your heavenly team, from your creator, from your own soul. I cannot just explain to you how easy it is to hear and give and receive messages when your channels are open and aligned and tuned in. You will become your own channel. You will hear your answers clearly. Without the static. The static will be gone. So please, I urge you, light workers, we need to take our masks off. We're needed. The time is now. We cannot fool around any longer. We've got to work through these things that are keeping us from aligning with our highest potentials. And as far as those things that set your soul on fire that you dream of doing, get out there and do it. Nobody else is going to do it for you. Get out there and do it, okay? Clear your heart. Align with your highest potential. Meditate every single day. Clear those blocks. If you would like a session with me so that I can help you recognize and clear some blocks, please, you can either go to my website, www.holistichealing.com, or you can find me on Facebook under Becky Jill the Healer. You can find me on Twitter under Meditative Mama. My email is holistichealing@gmail.com. I hope that you have learned something today. I hope that this resonates with you. I hope this will inspire you to get out there and get yourself clear, tuning your vibration, okay? I love you all so much. God bless you and have a wonderful day. Until next time, peace out.